Troopers shot and killed two suspects after a hostage standoff. I've been telling you about this throughout the day. Investigators say this all started with a traffic stop in London before a carjacking, and police chase led to that deadly standoff near the Dayton International Airport. And that's where we find 10 TV's Lacey Chris tonight with new details on this investigation.
In a stolen semi with a hostage inside, the suspects led law enforcement on a 3-county chase that ended right here.
The first contact was a regular traffic stop. Vehicle was observed with no taillights and no visible registration.
What started as a traffic stop ended in a shootout hours later. Around 1 Wednesday morning, London Police Chief Glenn Nichol says one of his officers tried to pull over two suspects when they jumped out and ran to this gas station.
He attempted to deploy a taser. At that point, the suspect pulled a firearm and fell down.
The chief says that's when the suspects jumped into this semi with a driver inside and took off. This is video you will only see on 10 TV. The semi hits the road with cruisers behind it. Officers deployed stop sticks. Look at what is left of the tires. About 2.5 hours after the initial traffic stop, the semi stopped on the road to the Dayton airport.
There was negotiations that were occurring from around that 3:23 time frame when the vehicle came to a stop or shortly thereafter until about 7:30 this morning when troopers decided from the special response team to attempt to make entry.
Ohio State Highway Patrol Lieutenant Nathan Dennis says Montgomery County negotiators and the OSHP special response team tried to resolve the situation peacefully, but decided to approach the semi.
Troopers from the special response team approached the truck to remove the victim from the truck. As they were making entry into the truck, the suspects fired shots at troopers. Troopers returned fire on the suspects.
The victim was able to run to safety. Both of the suspects, a 54-year-old man and a 51-year-old woman, were taken to a local hospital where they later died from their injuries. Dennis says this is a reminder that no traffic stop is routine.
Anytime that any law enforcement makes a traffic stop, it's a dangerous situation. This is why we train the way that we do and continue to train on an ongoing basis.
And the Ohio Bureau of Criminal Investigation is investigating the shooting.
So, yeah, y'all just seen the video. You seen the message. We had got that on our tablets. It's a sad thing to see that happen to a truck driver, let alone happen to a person, let alone happen to one of our own at Werner. This just reminds you that you don't know people's intentions, you know what I'm saying? We didn't hear anything about him getting robbed. We don't know what those guys, that lady and that guy, what they was doing when they kidnapped that truck driver from Werner. But if there's anything I could tell y'all, you know what I'm saying, y'all need to stay vigilant and be very aware of your surroundings and try to be as careful as you possibly can be going to and from your truck. Glad to hear that that driver's okay. As you can see on this truck, he was a million miler, so he was an OG, you know what I'm saying, concerning this company. Like I said, it's not cool to see that, you know what I'm saying, but y'all gotta do your things to be safe out there, you know what I'm saying, and one of the best things you can try to do to be safe out there is definitely be aware, you know what I'm saying, what's going on around you. Usually every time I move in and out of this truck, I'm looking around before I go in the truck. I'm looking around as I'm coming, even before I come out of the truck, looking out the window to see what's going on. There's plenty of times before I even open up the curtains, I'm seeing flashes, I'm seeing the cops out there, I'm seeing things going on between arguments, people slamming into the gas tanks. There's things going on out there. If I had to share a quick story, you know what I'm saying, there was one time I was in Miami, and I was going to Job Corps, and I was with my girlfriend at the time, and I was trying to get something out of the store. I was getting a drink, and I was not paying attention what was going on around me in the store like I usually do. And that day, that night, that time, I thought everything was cool. And she was aware that somebody was watching me in the store, you know what I'm saying, but she didn't think too much of it neither. It was nighttime, and I was finna walk her, to her bus stop, but she was like, it's just another day, it's fine, it's no big deal, she'll get to where she gotta go. And she left to go to the stop. As I'm walking down the street, there's a dude that walks up on me with a big umbrella. Now, it was lightly raining outside, but nothing too big that you need an umbrella. One hand I had a bag, one hand I had a cell phone. This guy was asking me, do I have change for a 50? And I was like, no, I don't got no change for a 50. Then he was like, do you know anybody else that got change for a 50? I was like, I don't know anybody that's balling right now to break your 50. And then he said, well, come with me to the store, you know what I'm saying, to get some change. And I was like, yo, I am on curfew. I only have a few minutes left before it's time to shut down. I gotta head back to the school. As I'm walking down, he pulls the umbrella back and pulls out this big ass gun, and he holds me at gunpoint. And he was like, fuck that, come across the street. And he was telling me to run my pockets. So as I'm dropping change on the floor, I tell him that I don't have nothing. And he's like, oh, you Israel, you don't have nothing. And then he was like, what about that cell phone? I said, the phone's got a broken screen if you want it. And he was like, nah, you can have that. But he's like, don't try nothing, I'll blow your back out, as he's walking away. As he's walking away, I'm watching him walk and not knowing on the other side where I left my girlfriend, she's getting attacked by 3 other people that he was with that was at the gas station. She had her shirt ripped off her back. They were chasing her down the street. She had her own story. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, again, y'all gotta be very aware of what's going on around you. And like I said, even though a lot of people out there is telling these truck drivers what they can and cannot have in a truck, so concerning protection, most definitely they got it. They're not taking no chances. And videos like this, stuff like this is happening with truck drivers getting shot, killed, robbed, and ran up on them. Most definitely the people's carrying something now. Nobody's taking no chances listening to the company, you know what I'm saying? I understand that they got a policy, but people's got lives out here to protect. Protect yours.